And welcome, Masculine Geek number 198, Fireside Chats. And we thought it was just going to be Amos and I to start off, but Robert's here, which is cool. He's coming straight from his incognito trip somewhere down south.
Yeah, down in the Keys at the moment. Key Largo, to be specific, at the moment, but that's not where I'm
Okay.
staying. So.
Cool. What's this? Is this bargain basement Raul Tomasi?
Wish.com.
I would, yeah. I would. The difference between me and Rolo is I would never go on Dr. Phil.
I understand why he went on, but it's still rough.
No,
I wonder if they're actually going to play for. I know it was taped before a live audience, and then it'll be disseminated nationally afterwards.
I
wonder how much you're going to edit. How much you're going to edit out?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be. It's not going to be. It's going to be messed up because of who's in charge of it. But I'm glad. I'm glad there's a Rolo around to go on shows like that and speak. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he knew he was going into the lion's den when he agreed to do it, but I'd much rather have him do it than someone who has no clue what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, he has. For anything they can fire at him, he's got his ammo back.
Well, they'll edit it. They'll edit it to make him look stupid.
Probably.
that when whatever pejoratives you want, and that's
They'll make him look stupid or evil,
mm-hmm. or both.
Or both. Hopefully evil, because that's better. But
yeah, I'm all for that.
Evil will get you back on other shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you were saying, it's better him on there than, let's say, certain presidents.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, just look at some of the guys who have made talking about what's going on with men and women and the dynamics in modern relationships and everything else, and they've been in it all of 6 months to a year, and basically all they're doing is misquoting something that Rollo or Ryan or someone more knowledgeable has said. Rich Cooper even, they're misquoting them, but in particular Rollo. So better the source of their misinformation being the actual information. But you're right, any stat or evidence or facts he presents to support his position or the conclusions he's drawn, or even when he hasn't drawn a conclusion, it's just, here is what the data shows us. That's all going to be removed, because no one's got time for that, especially not a bunch of middle-aged housewives watching Dr. Phil on the regular.
Well, how long does Dr. Phil air for? An hour?
I'm guessing so.
Because Rala said they went for an hour and 47 minutes. So
yeah,
they'll cut out all the juicy shit.
Well, think about it.
Consider commercials too.
Yeah, that's we're only talking 45
minutes.
Yeah.
So the entire thing will not be released.
If I did something like that, I would just I would just tell Dr. Phil that his grandma undressed for sailors. I mean, there's no
his grandmother still undresses for sailors.
There's no point. There's no fucking point.
Right. Well, all things considered, although Rollin was in a really cool hotel, all things considered, I'd much rather be on a beach in Key Largo than on the Dr. Phil show. So,
correct.
Well, I mean, it's kind of worth doing for the experience, and then for anybody who's a fan of Rolo, that's gonna they're gonna want to hear about it, and they're gonna be stoked that he went on there and did it regardless. So I mean, it's not a bad move. It's just just not gonna really get you much.
I wonder if they'll introduce him as author of The Rational Male and books, like Michaela Peterson did, proving that she had no clue who he was other than from his shows, and she certainly wasn't reading his book in college. So, oh well.
Anyway, how's your trip, Robert?
Oh, so far not too bad. Had a really nice Italian dinner. Had a very nice Cabernet with my meal. Got to see the sunset across the water. So
Cool.
have plans later in the week with someone I met down here. Have drinks with a former military buddy later this week as well. So getting some things lined up. So that's pretty good so far.
Nice.
And it's all on somebody else's dime. So
Ooh.
you know, and I didn't have to fly Spirit Airlines to get here.
Nice.
So, yeah.
There's a chance there's a chance we wouldn't be talking to you if you did.
Well, I did notice when I arrived in Fort Lauderdale that one of the Spirit Airlines was like delayed 3 hours flying in there. So I saw that and immediately thought of Cappy and stuck in an airport somewhere. So
Indeed.
anyway, is he joining us tonight? I thought I saw a teaser about that.
Well, he says, well, it's really weird. The timing of him is off. So, first of all, he sends me this random rambling text. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm like, yeah, I'm not answering that. And then he says, do you got Rurb's phone number? I'm like, you know what? I am so tired. Like, look, slacker. I have texted you Rurb's phone number 3 times. I'm not doing it again. You're done.
Mhm.
You're done. Oh, I found it on Twitter. I talked about. Well, why don't you do that why don't you just reach out to him directly?
Yeah.
Stop. I'm not your errand boy, Mr. Aaron Clary, you schlonglucker. So I ignored that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but getting back to your question, because I was rambling there, he will sometimes text me and say, "You podcasting?" Like, no, it's like Monday night at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not podcasting. Or on the weekend or something like that. Aaron, our broadcasts are every Wednesday. Every once in a while we do a rogue, but every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I would officially invite him on this one and give him some time, some advance time. At least, half of a day. And initially, he was going to join for a little bit because apparently the weather was going to be bad, and he doesn't like to drive in bad weather. He's become an old man. But apparently that's changed. The weather is 50-50, and he is going to go to his poker game. So it's possible he'll drop in later, but chances are we're going to end early, and he'll wind up trying to drop in after we've already cut the broadcast. So that's what'll happen.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. That sounds like a very Cappy move.
That's completely what he does. So.
Well, and the thing is, it's like Amos I saw was over in Ohio, so I immediately contacted him. Unfortunately, it's like the day before I'm leaving. But I'm like, dude, had I known and had I not been going out of town myself, it's like, yeah, I would have driven over and we'd have hung out. But guess what? I didn't contact Vince or Nick or someone else to get a hold of
Hey, how do you get a hold of Amos?
I need to get a hold of him. Yeah, it's called use your resources.
It's just that simple. I know this modern technology is frightening for boomers like Cappy, but I found a way to make it.
Yeah. So we'll see if he shows up.
Well, heads up, I'll be in Georgia in a couple weeks, so there's that.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that for work or just hanging out?
For work.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the week after Thanksgiving, I'll be down there for a week. So.
All right.
What part?
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, it is kind of a northern city in Georgia, but it is still its own unique weird.
Its own unique shitholeness.
Although the thing that is cool is the fact that if you're riding the MARTA from the airport, you are basically riding on the train from the opening scenes from Escape from New York that were edited out of the movie. Because when that opening was filmed, that was supposed to be like the National Railway, and it was very futuristic for its time. And they filmed the opening scene where Snake Plissken robs like the Bank of America, and he and his accomplices get to the train to, get across the country into like the free zone or out of the country, and then they get busted. And of course, they ended up editing that scene out, although you can find it on YouTube and elsewhere. And it's usually an extra on like the DVDs and Blu-ray. But yeah, that hadn't even been opened yet, but they filmed on the MARTA when it was brand new. So I always thought it was kind of cool as a fan of Escape from New York.
That is cool.
I would honestly rather be in Brooklyn than Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta so much, and Atlanta only gets worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
It never gets better. Whereas
right?
At least in New York, well, part of it is, Atlanta, modern day Atlanta just traces its roots back to that bastard Sherman. So fuck that guy. But at least
scorched earth, motherfucker.
Like Brooklyn and New York, it goes through phases where, it gets cool and then it gets shitty and then it gets cool again. Atlanta just keeps getting shittier. So
yeah, I was marching in a parade in Atlanta in one of my costumes, that sword and shield and everything, and I was kind of laughing.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Yeah.
Sword and shield are euphemisms.
But the last time an ancestor of mine was marching through the streets of Atlanta with a sword, I think he was burning the place. So,
right. Exactly.
The biggest barbecue to hit Atlanta since General Sherman's Little Barbecue.
That's right.
No, I don't think it was funny.
So it just keeps getting worse, kind of like Portland, right?
I think Portland's actually worse in my opinion, and the reason is because the Pacific Northwest, and people have done podcasts and discussions and psychological analysis, but there's nothing rooting them. Like Portland is entirely transplants. They have nothing grounding them in reality. So they're very prone to hysteria. I pick the worst part of the East Coast you want, and I get that like Memphis, I think, or whatever it was, there's some part of Tennessee that has.
All I'm thinking of is Newark.
Well, whatever it was, but like at the same time, that stuff can be turned around.
Newark's pretty bad.
Well, my thought is those things can be turned around. There's parts of the Pacific Northwest that once it starts happening, it's very difficult to turn it around because there's nothing to return to.
You live in the Pacific Northwest?
I know, it's crazy.
I know. Go figure.
I know.
I was waiting for him to mention that. That's kind of why I brought that up. But
well, it's funny because I was just hanging out with Vince, and Vince and I were talking about like the stuff that I noticed on the East Coast is there's just this. If you haven't lived over here, you don't notice it, but I see it everywhere where people are just way more relaxed. There's a lot less anxiety. Vince can just go up and do small talk with people, and there's not this weird like, why are you talking to me kind of attitude. And I'm not saying that everybody does it here. It's just you never know. It can happen. There's no way to tell whether the person's going to respond well or not. I guess it's a body language thing where the body language is much easier to read over there than it is where I'm at.
Well, speaking of trips, how was your trip? When you just got back not too long ago, so how'd your little rendezvous with Vince go?
It went well. It was a great I guess just break, like from just stuff, like a chance to just sit back, relax, and have good conversations and smoke cigars and interact with cool people. We were actually Vince and I were at a cigar lounge on Veterans Day, and there was this one old timer who was just
he was funny as fuck, dude, wasn't
he? Came out of his mouth was just
these woke assholes.
Yeah, and yeah,
I was about to say, who were you having cool conversations with? Because I know it wasn't Vince.
I know, right? Fucking dick.
Yeah. No,
Well, I'm
I,
just
I,
making sure that
you
the
know,
rules
I
TJ
know.
and they're not replicants that the government replaced after they got kidnapped on old government property snooping around.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed is, and this I've told Vince this. Like, he lives in a great area. It's very There's a lot of things that are accessible. He's got a great spot where he's at in his apartment with a good view. There's a lot of just access to normal stuff. Whereas I don't live in a remote area, but I live in an area where a lot of the stuff that Vince enjoys is just not there.
Mhm.
Which
Shut
is,
me.
I'm hoping to change that, but it's kind of cool. Like, he lives next to a golf course, and there's interesting people around him. Whereas, what's so funny?
Nick is a piece of shit.
Texting or is he posting in the comments?
I'm trying to be quiet and just give the man
Yeah.
some room.
You keep talking, TJ. Go ahead.
No, Robert asked how the trip went. And I said it was great, and it's stuff to think about if you're planning to move from where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this area is very centrally located. I mean, we one night we walked over to the clubhouse restaurant.
Mhm.
Have to worry about driving. It's a 2-minute walk. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Well, yeah, it's not too far for you to get to Philly. It's not too far to you to get to a lot of different places. So that is kind of nice.
correct. Very much so. Yeah, well, this location is the Pine Barrens, New York, Philadelphia,
Yeah.
the Shore, all that within 2 hours or less.
Yeah.
So
So
How much
lots of
time do you spend in the Pine Barrens?
I can't tell you. I'd have to kill you.
You
Lately, not a lot. We were there very very briefly for about half the day. Went out to Badstow Village.
You can't dig deep holes in the wintertime, right?
What I thought was interesting?
Strangely enough, up until late Sunday and Monday, the temperature was in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
We had great weather. We were out on the balcony smoking cigars and drinking, and in short sleeves,
Mhm.
and almost the middle of basically the middle of November. So it was perfect.
Wow.
Is that unusual for you?
It's highly unusual for us for November. So yeah, and then it got down to the 40s. In fact, this week I think the low is going to top out at around 23 on tomorrow night. Actually,
Yeah, we're gonna be 28, 27, 28.
yeah, it's going to be pretty cold over the next week or so.
All places no one wants to visit. The only thing I like about New Jersey is I do like the farmland. I actually do like the Pine Barrens because I've been there, and I like I like the boardwalk at Atlantic City. That's about it.
Oh yeah. Well, hell, I'm down here. See, there you come visit, son of a bitch.
Well, we'll have to do Gettysburg again sometime so I can make it. Maybe we can see if we can find Amos's missing.
Yeah,
nipple.
I was gonna say we gotta find my nipple.
we gotta locate your lost nipple.
We can at least find that same spot where I can probably figure out where it was.
Well,
I'll tell you what, the quest for Amos's lost nipple is probably going to be a much better story than the next. We got that going for it.
Right.
What we should do is I'll come visit for the Gettysburg trip, and we'll have to get like a one of those chess sets that's the North and the South.
Oh, there you go.
And we'll go out to Gettysburg, and we'll I'll be the South. You can be the North.
We could do that.
Instead of Dungeons and Dragons, we'll do chess night at Gettysburg.
We could totally do that. That would totally work.
You're going to be Oates Alabamians storming Little Round Top, trying to get
the losing side has to go blow the bugle naked at the memorial at that statue.
I do that anyway. So
I
okay.
was. Well,
It's just another Saturday night for Vince.
I do that. Yeah, I do that anyway. No, I do want to do. I do want to rent that that house, that 4-bedroom house, that old house again. So first come, first served. Unless you feel like sleeping with Amos.
Jesus.
I know, right? Sleep on the floor.
You got to deal with him waking up in the middle of the night, trying to get his nipple back.
Right? Those aren't pillows.
Tried to pull it off of you.
Right? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's like,
Well,
that's why when every now and then people on Twitter will post, do you want to meet your friends on Twitter? My answer is always hell no.
I have a newsletter, right? Well, gentlemen, I'm going to hop off here. I've got some things I'm going to do, and I've got someone I'm going to go spend some time with. So,
cool. Thanks for joining us for a little bit of time.
oh, not a problem. And I'll see you guys next week. So, from signing off from the Keys, you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you later.
There you go. Next week is Raul's game. Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers, indeed.
Yeah, if I were in the Keys, I wouldn't be on here at all. So, props to him.
Yeah, you would. You're in fucking pools in Florida broadcasting. Shut up.
That was
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
I spent most of my year there, so that wasn't a big deal.
Okay. Might as well broadcast. Well, we didn't get to see your nipples, thank God.
I think I showed a nipple or two.
YouTube would have shut you down. Ask us how we know.
Oh, I remember the infamous MLD Nipplegate. Yeah.
Nipplegate scene, yeah.
But I see videos on YouTube with, drunk dudes, driving 4-wheelers through mud pits, and they got their shirts off.
Right. What? You're going to take a week off for Nick and we get a lousy one day? You dick weevil.
GBG.
I'm not telling you when Nick's coming out, so how you like that shit? In fact, Nick's not going to know until he gets out here. He's going to be drugged and flown out by Rob.
I'm gonna go pre-game the week with McTubis.
Never mind. I'll leave that one alone. I'm not gonna go there.
I'm gonna auction that off. Spend a week with Nick. Let Nick gets to crash at your house for a week. Who wants to buy raffle tickets?
Speaking of raffle tickets, what's up, James?
How's it going?
It's going well. How about you?
Doing pretty good. We just finished the premiere for one of my new YouTube videos, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Cool. What's the YouTube video about, or is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret at all. It's about one-to-one time. It was inspired by Jeffro Johnson and the constant throngs of people telling us that we had never actually produced anything. So I figured a YouTube video, being the voice representative, will get me back into the swing of recording audio and nail out some geeks and nerds at the same time. Some gross nerds, as Jeffro Johnson would say, at the same time.
Drop a link in the private, and I will post it.
Absolutely.
And I'll tweet it out for you. All right, let me click that shit right now.
It was a lot of fun.
19 minutes and 4 seconds. All right.
Yeah,
So
it's
got
beefy.
All right. Oh, you're
Video
gelatinous
for
Rube?
weekend. I'm gelatinous Rube.
Well, I was wondering who the fuck that was, because every once in a while I see that cross my feed. I'm like, who's this jackass with a great name? All right, let me subscribe for there and hit the all button, and then hit the like button, and then I'm going to share this right now on Twitter.
I appreciate it. This was a really fun. I remember I ended up asking Rob for advice about Filmora versus Da Vinci and which one I should use. He was pretty helpful there.
He likes Da Vinci. He's got the professional version.
Yes. Yeah, he also but he did recommend, given that I was just starting out, he's like, all right, maybe do professional Filmora, because professional Filmora is way cheaper than professional Da Vinci. And has a far smoother learning curve. Really
all right, I'm hashtagging this gross nerds.
Gross nerds.
Gross nerds.
Oh no, he's gonna misspell it.
Gross. No. I'm not putting an S in there, although I should. All right, go ahead. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Make sure I didn't misspell anything. Come on, tweet, you fucking cock. There we go. It's out there. The gross nerds is out there.
I hope somebody sound bites that.
What, gross nerds?
No, tweet, you fucking cock.
Oh, that one? We'll have to get Bull Rush to pull that soundbite out. Tweet, you fucking cock. All right, cool. Nice. Well done. I'll listen to that later. Add that to my... You're welcome. Add that to my listening feed. I got too many tabs open here. Don't need that shit. There we go. Back to streaming.
I'm going to work my way back into the audiobook recording. One way or another, I'm going to force my way back in. We had a short delay. We had a short issue in process.
Yes,
but,
that's all right. You're young.
Go back to it. I'm just going to find people with him. Jeffro, I'm going to record his audiobook. I know that.
Cool.
Besides that, it's just harassing people. I think Rollo did end up getting somebody for his 5th book, right?
He did. That's been a year in the can already.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, props to Sam.
Well, I will anything. Well, we're going to be doing some Red Pill Pulp Fiction. I'm putting together an anthology. Ooh. So if we decide to go forward with audio, you will be first on that list.
I'm down for that, especially now that I'm working remotely. It's I got plenty of time.
Cool.
When I write my memoirs, you're getting the audiobook contract.
Absolutely. There better be plenty of cursing in there.
Oh, I'm writing it specifically to make you say all kinds of things you really don't want to have to say.
That's right. Gross nerds.
Gonna change my name again just to read it. Just like
right. Yeah, you have to do like a third pen audio pen name just to put that one out.
Disclaimer, just to say I don't have a dick in my mouth. It's just a large bar of soap.
Just use TJ Martinell as your pen name.
TJ Martinell.
TJ Martinell.
I would audio book.
It would be cool to hear your. It would be cool to hear your voice in a pitch shifter, even deeper than it already is. Like
you could get a little bit of that if you play me at 2x speed.
Or
pitch shifter.
A pitch shifter, yeah. Voice.
Not a shit pifter.
Not a shit pifter. That's the thing you're sitting on.
What you need to do? Did you ever see that?
Go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Did you ever see the movie version of Private Parts with Howard Stern? There was a scene in there where he makes real deep sounds into the microphone, and there's this chick who sits on the speaker, and he makes her come by all the deep vibrational sounds he makes through the microphone. So I'm thinking that that's something that that's a project that James could probably release. It'd be like 30 minutes of deep vibrations that you can sit on a speaker.
There you go.
Texas Tomboy keeps telling me to do ASMR. I think that might be my market. Let's have to upload it on Pornhub.
You should totally do that. I don't know why you didn't think of that like years ago. You son of a bitch.
I thought of a lot of things years ago. There was just no infrastructure to do it. I I think I told you guys the first time when I finally got a book deal, which was Aaron Clary's audiobook. I told my family about it immediately. So, like, hey, guys, make sure that you're staying quiet, not doing bitchy,
They're going to do
cunty
exactly
things
the
around
obvious of
house.
what you asked for.
Exactly. And then they did the opposite of what I asked for. They, God, I hate to say it. I was so happy when those 2 dogs died. I just wish they did it about
No shit.
6 months earlier. I love those dogs, but waking up every morning in the middle of recording, they made sure every day there was no like 4-hour gap.
Yeah.
For me to record something. It was insane. But now I'm a lot better at it. Now I'm a lot more practiced, and I could get something. I re-recorded 2 of my sections in that 19-minute video this morning because I just wasn't happy with them. I said, let me give it another pass. And there's a lot of the pipeline is a lot more together. Even though I've added more components to it, And, yeah, so I lost out on that one. But, like I said, we got Jeffrey Johnson coming up. And we'll see which of your projects I can take on. That'll be fun.
Yes, indeed.
Nictopus says, F Pornhub, what happened, buddy? I know you used to be in that industry.
I think he still is. Is that
Thank God that's settled.
Is that like an ethnic teabag? Is that what the
Black?
Oh,
I think that's in some way related to what Nictopus was talking about.
probably?
Yeah, some sexual harassment there. That's why he doesn't like them.
urban teabagging.
That's right.
The black bag.
Yep. Ethnic bagging. It's not what you think.
Hashtag believe all fluffers.
That's right. Let's just ask Aaron for fluffing.
You don't have to ask him. He'll volunteer.
That is true. That is true.
He won't even
gotta,
hesitate.
You got to beat him off with a stick.
Yeah.
And then he'll want a receipt to write it off.
Well, yeah, $20 is $20 as long as it's a business expense. It was just heading taking places.
That's right. Masculine Geek Life gets the private interviews, all the stuff that we can't talk about live here on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
No, it's a good time. Probably going to be adding. I mentioned this in one of the Telegram chats. Probably going to be adding here and there 2 times a month. One for a general hangout, one for a guest.
Man, I think that'd be perfect. If we got to do that twice a month, it'd be
It's
really good.
Yeah, and it's definitely more value for the money, so it'd be fun. I like the private chats.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, Nick.
I'm just saying, if you pay my hourly rate, I'll be happy to come on and tell you all the full behind the scenes stories of everything. Talk
about gay porn. Now, I don't think we need to hear that.
The true story, the full story of skin curtains, the full story of meth teeth, the full story of false teeth.
The shit you've already talked about on Let 'Em Burn. Nah, we're good. We'll just go back and watch that.
I don't give the full story on Let 'Em Burn. You only get
Oh, you get a teaser.
It's the teaser.
Yeah, you get a teaser. So basically, all Let 'Em Burn is a tease for your
right.
$250 an hour sordid stories.
You get the full story of that. You get the full story of my divorce and all of the hijinks that occurred there. It's all kinds of good shit.
Oh, fantastic. You should write a book.
I'll read it.
Right?
It's a bedtime story.
That's right. What are you doing back there? You spraying Pam? What the hell?
I'm with your mom.
My mom's dead, so that should be interesting.
No, your mom clean all that dirt off her.
That's right. That Pam's going to make the ashes kind of sticky, isn't it?
Jesus.
God damn. Ah,
My oh my.
your mom's so much more fun though. I'll give her your regards.
No, she isn't.
Well, when
I
you're
know
not
you're
around,
lying. You don't have to lie to make me feel better about that. That's fine.
she's kind of okay. I don't worry about it. I
she's
gag her,
on her
so I
way
don't have
out.
to hear her talk.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Absolutely.
Man, I told her the other day, like, we're gonna keep all of our interactions
Well, here,
text from now on.
there you go. Well, when I'm in the bedroom, I just make sure I have a picture of you facing her,
Okay.
so that she's really weirded out.
That's
That
sorry you had to deal.
that
Thank
stopped
you for your
that,
service. I don't know what to say.
that stopped you in your tracks. James was
Yeah,
speechless for a moment.
I'm awfully confused about that. I'm having some kind of stroke going on. Of course, you are as well, but it's a different kind of stroke.
It's a different kind of stroke. It's a petit mal seizure of a different kind.
What the fuck?
Well, brainwave activity, an orgasm has the same brainwave activity as a petit mal seizure, so there's no difference going on in your brain. Yeah.
Huh.
Explains a lot.
It does. It really does, actually. Well, for anyone having orgasms, and there's a lot of people on social media not having those, as we well know.
Is it true that you teach your girls to say "shut the fuck up" while you're pulling their hair?
I do.
Which one of us are asking?
I play the audio from the video from down the Village by the Sea. Shut the fuck up.
Was she out of pocket or were you... They're always out of pocket. There's no
No,
that doesn't
yeah,
narrow it down.
exactly. All women are crazy. Just pick one.
Why did you get to that?
You did.
Mm.
Well done. You seem to be having fun.
I'm enjoying myself. It's not what I was expecting, but it's fun.
That's good. So how's your flight back, TJ? You obviously made it back okay.
Yeah, it was fine. It actually arrived early. It's the Alaska. The problem is that they were carrying extra luggage in the up bins, so it was like just a Chinese fire drill trying to find places to put our stuff. But other than that, I either put earplugs in or I put in my earbuds, Bluetooth, and I just listen to a podcast or music. That is a game changer because the vibration of the engines, like, going through your ears, that kind of like fatigues you. Like, I remember I used to get off airplane flights and I'd be completely exhausted, even though it was the middle of the day. It's because I was just listening to that stuff. But you put earplugs in, you kind of just like, even if you're not falling asleep, you're just relaxing.
Yeah.
It's because of the lack of oxygen. That's actually why. So even when they're pressurizing the plane, there's still a drop in oxygen levels as if you're like in the mountains. So
Oh, I live in the mountains.
that's what that is,
Oh.
mostly.
Yeah. It was amazing how many people were Branch Covidians, meaning they were. Oh.
Little spur girl used to tell me the same thing.
But that was after the petite mall.
She got fatigued from the vibrations.
Yeah.
What airline were you flying with, TJ?
On this case, it was Alaskan. So, yeah.
Huh.
Cheers. Yeah, there was no Spirit Airlines this time.
Yeah, there was no Spirit Airlines involved in the making of this trip.
Thank God.
Yeah. I picked normal hours for one. I don't want people who are dropping me off at the airport to have to get up at like 5:30 in the morning. The other one is I don't want Vince to pick me up. Unlike Aaron Clary, I don't want him picking me up at 2:30 in the morning when the flight, or he shows up or whatever.
Well, I told him I wasn't picking him up. I made him. He got himself a rental car, but he did wake me up at 3 a.m.
Right. It's like, just I'm picking hours that are normal. And if I got to pay an extra $50 to go on a flight that leaves at 11 a.m. instead of 2 a.m. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, it's much better. I'll tell you, it was an ordeal getting home after I dropped you off all the accident. Well, the Woolworth Bridge was slow as fuck, so I figured, all right, let me continue up 95 North and grab Ben Franklin Bridge. For whatever reason, the lane heading over the river into New Jersey from Ben Franklin Bridge was completely shut down. No traffic going into Jersey, so I continued up north 195 to take the Betsy Ross, and of course, it was now coming up on rush hour traffic. So what would normally be a 40-minute ride became an hour and a half. Fucking piece of shit.
I'm thankful for your service.
You're welcome, you son of a bitch.
We had fun.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good trip. Yeah, it was a good game playing around the table too.
Yes, yeah, that was a fun game. Like, this is kind of what I was telling you, and I've said before. Playing some of these, and I do this. I've played tabletop games on a simulator like Cthulhu Wars and all that stuff, and it's just not the same where you're in a room with guys, like you're right next to them when they're rolling the dice, and you get to watch as do they roll what they need to roll or not, and it's a kind of a just in-person interactive experience. And you just don't get that necessarily from doing the online stuff. It's not the same. It's not replicable fully. The other thing is that that game had a lot of visual stuff. I'm just really good with visual. That's what I kind of need to for following what's actually going on. So I had a sense of place, whereas a lot of these online games, I really don't have that.
Yeah. It's good to have the wood erased battle mat, and you can draw out the dungeon or whatever, and then use the small figurines to represent your character.
Yeah.
So how many perception checks did TJ roll?
I think just one, but I did roll a couple. I rolled at least 2 natural d20s.
You did, and you only rolled perception twice.
Dang.
But I essentially explained perception. The rolling perception is just the technique, or the mechanic. The idea is to flesh it out and say, well, I'm trying to ascertain this print in the mud, or this loose stone, this discolored stone in the dungeon. What do I know about it? Can I learn anything from that? This seems weird, or whatever. Or maybe you say, I'm going to check this 10-foot sectional wall because I'm getting an odd feeling about its configuration. Can I roll perception, see if I find anything as I'm checking, and then you still have to describe what you're doing. You can't just say I'm rolling perception. Well, for what? So that's what that comes down to. So TJ knows about the whole perception thing now. What the fuck is that noise?
Oh,
yeah, James, your dryer in the background. That's got to go. Just stay muted until you're ready to talk. Jesus Christ. He's in the background attending to household duties. That's better.
Yeah, I could just use my cough button, tap, untap.
All right. Cool.
But I was going to turn the gain down, too. I like everything I record is either on 2 or 3 here. What I was going to say is, when you're doing those checks in D&D, what's critical is, if I'm rolling an attack, I gotta describe who I'm doing it against and what I'm doing it with, you know? And if you just apply that standard to like skill checks and stuff like that, you gotta tell me what you're doing it with or how you're doing it. Like, what is your implement for this?
Yeah. What's the reason? What's the reason why?
Yeah, and what's the
your
target?
mom with a Hitachi wand? Oh, what?
With a violet wand. That's good. So yeah, so if you walk into a room, there's a desk, a wardrobe, and a cabinet, and you say, "Well, I roll perception or I roll investigation." It's like you got to tell me which of the 3? What's your target? How are you doing it?
Yep.
If you go over and say, "What am I?" You know, I think there's a secret door here. There's a bookshelf here. I'm just gonna take all the damn books off the off the bookshelf.
Find out which one is
until
the
I
secret
find
lever.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do that, it's like, well, you're going to find the one that doesn't sweep off the shelf and that you could yank on. It's going to find the thing. And that's the advantage of doing it that way, is getting that automatic success. You've immersed yourself a little bit more in the process. It's a lot more fun. It's more evocative.
Yeah. It's a word of the day, is evocative. But yes, the game was fun and it was slightly evocative.
What kind of character did TJ play?
He brought his ranger from our games, from Raul's game.
So Aldemar just randomly shows up in another world.
Yep, pretty much. That's the rumor. I killed a bunch of guys though.
You did. Nah, we don't care, Geeky. Soundbite away.
All gang geek, what's this obsession with black males? What's up, buddy?
Right, good one, guys.
Nice.
That's
He's already mentioned the black bag, the teabagging.
You guys heard about Bang Bros putting a bid on that sports stadium?
Yeah.
No.
BBC
Yeah.
Stadium?
Wait, the FTC.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Black cock matters?
Yeah.
Well, because it was named FTX Stadium, and then
Yeah,
they
it
pulled
was.
FTX's name after the debacle. So Bang
Jesus.
Bros put a bid on, naming
Like
it.
10 or 5, some decent amount of money, but
Yeah.
Yeah, their money's good. They're not stealing
Exactly.
$10 million.
it really is the cleanest money you could probably.
Hey, it's hard earned.
Hard being the operative word.
I mean, nobody's,
Something about that oldest profession.
That's right. It's very honorable. All right.
I'm curious
So-
what's going to happen with that, man. I'm considering now that I, have money again. I'm looking at this. I'm like, maybe next month, starting next month, I should buy the dip. Let's see what happens.
You should be getting that bike fix is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's winter
well,
here in Dallas. I'm getting it fixed anyways. But
I don't know if you guys saw. So I had from a local Chinese place. I didn't even notice this because I just thought, well, that's really weird marketing material to put inside a fortune cookie. Little fortunes.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
little FTX.
America.
Jesus Christ.
Does it say buy the dip on the other side?
Yeah, I was looking into it and I was like, I Googled, I'm like, who the hell is this FTX and why are they selling fortune cookies? Because all of their sayings have to, it's like, turns out you can teach old Doge new tricks. What
Jesus.
does the future hodl? I think those are the only two that I got. But I looked into it and they're like, oh yeah, it's part of their like aggressive marketing campaign.
Where do they?
Jesus.
Fortune
I want to know,
cookies?
do they have lottery numbers on there? They still have lottery numbers.
Oh, yeah, they got the lucky numbers and all that.
That's crazy.
As far as I'm concerned, that's all I need to trust a fortune cookie.
Right?
Well, despite my own personal interest in crypto notwithstanding, I think that's a great, using a fortune cookie giving crypto advice is like the best metaphor of the space you could get.
Yeah, is that like a shoe shiner telling you about stocks?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit of a parallel there.
It'd be it's kind of like getting stock tips from Gordon Gekko. You don't know what you're getting. It's either illegal or wrong.
Yeah. All right. I'm calling it. That's it for the night. We're keeping it brief, under the hour mark, because I really have not much to say tonight, and I'm tired.
You look tired.
I do, right? I really am. I did not get much sleep last night. The temperature changes throw me all off. So
What's the temperature there?
now it's getting close to like the 30s. We went from 71 on Saturday to
Yeah.
42 on Sunday, and then overnight last night it was like 38.
You got snow?
Not yet. I know parts of Pennsylvania have gotten snow.
Yeah, we got some snow, and it's 22 here.
Jesus Christ.
When I was in Ohio, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna get cold." I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, it's gonna get into the 30s." I'm like,
You're laughing
"Right."
at that.
I'm like,
I wear short sleeves in 30.
yeah, I was like, it's I'm thinking it's cold when you're in the single digits or below. That's why it's cold.
Yeah. Geeky, this is the last of the Pinot Grigio from a local winery. So, there.
I'm
All right.
drinking Guinness as my peasant blood demands.
Absolutely. It's like having a milkshake or a protein shake. I think there is 1 gram of protein in that son of a bitch.
It's got everything you need for life.
Exactly. You're set. All right, Amos. You don't want anyone to know where you're at, so never mind. Nick, where can everyone find you?
I'm around.
He's around with his hat. James, yourself.
You can find a fellow with a delightfully smooth whiskey voice at Gelatinous Rube on Twitter. Rube Jelly on Twitter and Gelatinous Rube on YouTube.
Cool. TJ.
You can find me at tjmartinell.com and also on Twitter at twitter.com/tmartinell1.
Cool. There you go. And obviously, Masculine Geek, masculinegeek.life. It's down there on the right-hand side of the little thumbnail we got in the background. And next Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, if all goes well, Rollo will be DMing his campaign. And then the following Wednesday after that, on the 30th, we're going back to Drew's campaign. So it's back-to-back live stream AD&D games. So there you have it. And that is it. And let me go over here to the brand tab for myself. And we're going to go over here and do this. TJ, take us out.
All right, guys, you know the drill. Keep the lead shooting down range, keep the fires burning, keep the wine flowing. Don't take any wooden nickels. Don't drink all the rum. And long live the Republic.
Yeah.
Cheese?